Exclusive first look at the all-new Toyota Yaris for you. Let's go! A lot of cars are going more and more aggressive throughout the generations, or even sportier. I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little bit sportier than before, but we can see that also in this new generation they kept a rather friendly style. However, wide opening here for the front grille, here also with high gloss black accentuations in this trim, and new headlamps, but they kept really the base character of this vehicle. So what do you think? Do you like the new design? The headlamps will always feature some kind of LED extent. It depends on how much on the trim level of the headlamp. So whereas new generations of those new cars get bigger and bigger and bigger, Toyota decided here to keep it small, to make it even a little bit smaller. So still below this 4 meters threshold like it was before, or then way less than 160 inches. So they didn't want to make it any bigger. I think it's also a good decision because, people still need small cars, not only bigger and bigger and bigger cars. Here, with those big 17-inch wheels, those ones are optional. Of course, it starts with smaller ones. And again, a rather round design, not too many dramatic design lines here at the side. But then this area is really interesting, is rather round curve in here, like stamped in, and then again it creates some kind of stronger shoulders or wheel arches right there. And indeed those tail lamps, they form some kind of wing. It's very interesting. So this is the most spectacular side of the all-new Yaris. And if we also think about what's underneath, this is here built on the TNGA platform. But then there are sub-platforms for this global platform for the smaller, mid-size and also for the bigger vehicles. And this is the first one here on this small sub-platform of this global architecture. So this has nothing to do with the recent US Toyota Yaris, which is on the Mazda 2 base. We presented that to you in Los Angeles Motor Show. This one then, the real all-new generation, it's an all-new car, also platform-wise. So, and you can see here, this is again the most modern shape of the car. You can see you do lose some trunk space if you have this dramatic design on the exterior. Yeah, but then you have something more to show at least. As engines, you'll get a 1-liter naturally aspirated petrol engine, a 1.5 NA engine, so also naturally aspirated petrol engine, and the main engine will be this one here, the 1.5 hybrid, so 1.5 liter of displacement, naturally aspirated petrol engine, mated to this Toyota hybrid system, internal hybrid. You cannot recharge it from the outside, but you always have this battery as a buffer to have some electric situations in the city. And so far with our other Toyota tests, that worked actually quite well. Even for Toyota Camry, we had like 5 liters per 100 kilometers consumption, which is pretty decent and of course can be lower for a vehicle in a size like this. First look here at the interior. First of all, door closing sound. Yeah, why not? It's not too bad. And then inside of the doors, top part here is hard plastic. Then there's a beautiful gray fabric interior. Reminds us a little bit of like this Scandinavian furniture design. This is then, I'm not sure if it's just prototype or if, at some point they also want to offer a decent price, so maybe we can expect more in this case. Door pocket here, this should also fit for some bottles, yes. And then you have a new layout here with a new steering wheel that looks a little sportier. Those gauges, interesting, round, left and right, looks joyful definitely, and with a digital screen on the inside. And what you can always see right here, this one here is a real head-up display. That's new. Interesting new option for the car, and soft touch also here at the top of the dashboard. Then those are the sporty seats with fabric on the inside and leatherette on the outside, as it's supposed to be. And yeah, I mean, this is a nice sporty option with a little bit more shoulder support here in this overall sporty trim of the car. So taking a seat here, indeed those sport seats, they offer a lot of support. So unusual big seats then for a small vehicle like this. And you know, that's pretty positive. So I guess for taller people, the sport seats might also make sense indeed. As for the comfort, steering wheel can be adjusted up and down and also towards you and back again. And yeah, looking at those new gauges is really fun. They just look fun somehow. And I can already see something of the head-up display, which looks pretty clear and crisp. That's pretty cool. Optional JBL sound system is indeed also built in here. And well, this one here has a panoramic roof. Cannot be opened, like, you know, like totally open, but here you can use those shades. It's like half and half, like, you know, right here. Just use the other hand, yeah, push, and then we can go back again, and then you can also close the other half like this, so you can close it totally, and then yeah, interesting system here. You push it back again. So headroom wise, me with 1.86 m or 6'1", so that does approximately work. Yeah, so still also works. And I mean, panoramic roofs like those, they shouldn't cost you too much headroom. You know, it's different when you can open something like this. So first impression here is actually quite cozy and more comfortable than before. Cockpit overview, you can see here, new layout. Left side again with those new instruments that look that joyful. Steering wheel, right side for cruise control, left side then to control something from the steering wheel, or for example to pick up the phone and so on. On the right side, this new infotainment system, which is kind of attached on there, but that you can reach it from here. This one here, GPS view. You can see you can zoom in and out. We're actually not in Madrid, but in Amsterdam. And yay, finally, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are also available here for the Toyotas in Europe. So far, the license is only for the US. You can see here in the new Yaris or Yaris, it will also feature Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I already connected my music to that. And it will also be introduced, by the way, in other Toyota models now when they come with an update, for example, for the CHR with the new hybrid engine, for example. So, or when the next facelifts come and so on for the new model years. So there's light at the end of the tunnel as for the connectivity, especially since, you know, the rest of the infotainment system is not so up to date. This one will be probably your solution. So as for the rear door hardly opens. You can see here that can be a problem, like when installing child seats and so on. There are ISOFIX covers. You can take a look here also with the sporty design here in the rear. ISOFIX at the outside of the seats. It also has a possibility to have a third passenger in the middle. Of course, you know, somewhat limited and for adults. But again, the rear door hardly opens that much. And when I'm driving in the front, yeah, it doesn't look like that, but indeed I can put my feet under the seat even in the lowest position, and I mean, directly hit my knees here, but not hard, you know, so that's actually okay. I can sit here legroom wise, exactly. Headroom wise, my hairs are touching the ceiling, but I mean, I can still fit here. And now we take a look at the trunk, and we can open it right here. So what do we lose or what do we gain? First of all, the dimensions look actually quite square. So there's the loading still here, but there will also be, you know, possible to put this cover up. And this one here is at the lowest position at the moment, but then, yeah, you can put it out here. Okay. Like this. So then you have a rather even sill. So it depends on if you want to transport something which is higher, want to use everything, or if you want it a little bit easier to load in and out. So that's definitely an interesting approach. And now to our conclusion for today with the all-new Toyota Yaris here for the European version. Japan a little bit narrower, and also some Asian countries. In the US, as I said, there will be the Yaris. They will also link the video below, which is similar to the Mazda 2. So very interesting with this new platform. You sit a little bit more, you know, to this direction. So, but at the same time, the visibility is as good as before. You sit a little bit lower. The car itself is a little bit flatter without losing headroom. And although the car is a little bit shorter, a little bit longer wheelbase, you have actually more legroom on the rear than before. So that's actually good. So considering the length of the car, which is still very short, it's actually a quite good package on the inside. Exterior styling, not a revolution, quite fresher than before, but still with a rather round and likable design. Yeah, the rear is a little bit more daring, definitely. But on the inside then, also some new materials, new infotainment if you want so. However, the software is not really up to date, but then it's great that we now have the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connection. Then you can use your maps and, music stuff anyway and, leave the software of this infotainment system. Cool that we have a head-up display, and my personal favorite are those additional safety systems, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and also especially the head airbags. So safety is probably the thing they increased most, and everyone profits from that, definitely. So this is also, one of my favorite features. This new platform is also stiffer than before, so it promises a little bit more driving fun. We'll see about that when we are able to drive this very car, and I hope you will tune into that then again soon. See you there, and also at other reviews here at Autogefühl. Team Jonas behind the camera and Thomas in front of the camera says goodbye for today. Please subscribe if you haven't done so far. See you next time.